And then I woke up with COVID. I tested positive, and I was like, oh shit, because the next day we were going to fly out to Disney World. And in fact, the days leading up to Disney World, before there was any indication of an illness, Nina started, you can still hear the congestion in my voice a little bit. She was like, here, we're in the end game. Take these. And it was like elderberry gummies and like vitamin C tablets. She was like, eat these, stay healthy. And I mean, COVID is surging. It seems like everybody's got it at the moment.
Yeah, it's going through everybody.
You guys haven't gotten it yet at your family?
Not that we know of. We might have gotten it and just not tested for it.
Yeah.
But if we did get it, it was very mild.
I don't think I would have tested for it if we weren't going to be traveling.
So you took the test and then you're just like, fuck it, we're going anyway. Is that
what would you, dear viewers, what would you do? I mean, like we had a $4,000 trip planned and my daughter was busting at the seams to go to Disney. I mean, like, I'm not going to not go.
No.
And ultimately during the travel, it was pretty uncomfortable because I was congested. I was tired. I had that sick face feeling, but whatever. After that, it was kind of just like having a cold. I was a little intimidated because the plan was travel day, stay at the Wilderness Lodge, 2 days of Magic Kingdom, and then a little bit more time either at a park or at the Wilderness Lodge, and then we get out of there. So it's kind of a short trip to Disney World. And that was all Nina. Nina was like, you don't want to do the full week and a half or week and try to hit every single park. And because the truth is, like, every day, especially if you're trying to get a big return on investment, every day is like a 12-hour day. Like from the time the park opens to the time the park closes, because they have things, they have the parade schedule, they have the fireworks, you're trying to hit every ride. And I gotta tell you, man, like, yeah, so I was intimidated by my energy levels. I was like, is COVID going to just make it so I can't survive a day in the Magic Kingdom? And I was horrified that I was going to give it to little Gloria and destroy her Disney trips. Because to recap, while we have not expressed a lot of love for Disney here on this show, my daughter has been basically obsessed with the idea of going to Disney World for over a year. She started making overtures about, like, I have to go before I'm 7, things like that. And you think about it, you're like, well, what is the right time? Like, maybe a little older would be better, but maybe it would be less good. I don't know. Like, maybe we should go. And she was begging. And she started telling grownups in her life, she's like, we're going to go to Disney World. She was just trying to manifest it. So we were like, January seems good. Like, maybe the weather will be good. Let's try it. And so she had just been, there was a big countdown in our house. But Nina's thing was like, the stamina for the 6-year-old, just, it'll be all we can do to do the 2 days. And for maximum convenience, we decided, let's stay on Disney property. That's this Wilderness Lodge thing. It's just a hotel, EJ. Everybody talks about it like it's Candyland. No, it's a hotel. Yeah. And it's got, yes, it's cavernous. It's really big. It's impressive when you walk in, but the room is just a hotel room. And, it has like a cool pool area that we didn't take advantage of because it was actually like 50 degrees in Florida the whole time.
Right.
They had this thing called the Mears shuttle that goes from the airport straight to the Disney properties that was like fairly affordable because it was like a 35-minute ride from the airport to Disney. And, depending on the hotel that you stay at, you can either take the monorail or you can take boats to get into the parks. So in our case, it was a boat. You take a boat, like a little 5-minute boat ride from where you're staying to the Magic Kingdom. And so we said, let's do that. And you also get a half hour early into the park. You get early entry as a perk of staying on Disney property. And that gives you a little bit of extra. So between it being January, between it being a little colder out and getting early entry, that all seemed to make sense. What was driving me crazy in the months leading up to this trip was, I don't know about you, I can't conceptualize things really until I've experienced them much of the time. And so if you're like, hey, you're going to have to get Genie Plus. And because if you don't get Genie Plus, then you won't be able to do the character breakfast. And because the character breakfast is actually already on the other side of Tomorrowland. And that, I'm like, I don't know what any of this is. You're just using nouns that don't add up to me.
So it reminds me of when like Cartman's talking about like the, like, you have to get the Fast Pass.
Yeah, you get Fast Pass.
There get to be so many people that they make Fast Pass. So then there's lines for Fast Pass. You stand in line to get a ticket to stand in line later.
Oh, the lines.
The rides are great, but All the lines, lines, lines. If there's one thing I hate, all the lines, 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 lines.
There were basically two pieces of advice. Hey, you have to go do X, Y, and Z. Did you do this? Did you do that? Will you do this? Will you do that? Oh, you didn't do that? Oh, you need to do that. But, that right there, you're giving me FOMO before I even know what the hell I'm walking into. So don't put your FOMO on me, folks. Keep your FOMO in your pants. And two, they're very concerned about the lines. Like they're trying to protect you from spending your whole vacation in lines, which I appreciate and respect. So I have a lot of opinions. I've now learned a lot. I get it now. Now, granted, we only went to the Magic Kingdom. We did the first day was a 12-hour day. Second day was like a 10-hour day. Yes, early entry gets you, like, you can basically hit up like 5 rides probably in little 5 to 10 minute lines and rock through a lot of your rides right then and there. Here's how Genie Plus works. The night before you're due to go into the park, and the park costs $170 to get in per person. At midnight, you buy your Genie Plus pass. And the reason you have to wait until midnight is because they price it based on projected business the following day. So if it's going to be a really crowded day, it's more expensive for a Genie Plus pass. And if it's not so bad, then it's whatever. So for us, it was $25 per head. So add $25 per person. Now we're at $205 per person to get into a park for one day. You have the Disney app, Disney Trip app or whatever. All kinds of things are going to be happening on this app. They're going to be taking photos of you, and the photos are going to go there, and you're going to pay for the photos.
Wow.
There's a map, of course. The map will tell you, like, hey, we recommend going to It's a Small World right now because the wait is only 10 minutes. It's all mechanized. When you get there, you'll have, at some point early on, you'll have an opportunity to book your first lightning lane. So by buying Genie Plus, you get lightning lanes. Lightning lane is an alternate entrance next to the primary entrance for an attraction. So there's the hoi polloi that's waiting in hour to 2 hour long lines, and there's lightning lane. You just go straight through, and they prioritize you. But you can only book one at a time, and you cannot accumulate the bookings. So if you say, okay, I'm going to do lightning lane for Peter Pan's flight at 10 o'clock, then after you're done with Peter Pan's flight, then they say, okay, the next lightning lane that would be available to you are the following, Snow White's Minecart Adventure, Splash Mountain, whatever.
Jesus.
And so you're on your phone the whole time. Yeah. Yeah. It's a game. It's a big fucking game.
Yeah.
and you're obsessed with, like, okay, like, how do we do the next one? All right. So that's the lay of the land there. I also want to say that the park itself is pretty cool. The park is huge. It's Disney World. It's Magic Kingdom. I call it the overworld. The reason I call it the overworld is because we've been playing the Disneyland Xbox game, and the layout is more or less the same as the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. And so Gloria and I knew how to get everywhere. We knew where all the attractions were. All the playing the game. Nina was like, how come you two know all the direct? Normally Nina's the one leading the way. And we're like, we've been playing the game. We know the virtual environment helped us map this out already.
We've been training for this day.
Yeah, exactly. We've been doing our simulation, our Matrix version. This is the thing that I just really feel like I got to say, and I'm gonna lose some subscribers through this. Okay. The rides suck. All this ridiculousness to ride these rides, holy shit. Now, I get it. I'm just going to say, because of the cultural significance, you should go on Haunted Mansion at one point in your life. You should go on whatever, some of these other ones. Pirates of the Caribbean at one point in your life. Dude, people love these rides. People are so nostalgic for these rides. People will wait. I mean, these are 2 hour lines. Do you realize, EJ, what we're talking about? We're talking about you sit in a little cart, a little handlebar comes down, and you bump subtly around ancient animatronics for 3 minutes, and then you get off.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I went to Disney World when I was like, what? I don't know, probably Gloria's age.
I forgot how much these things suck. I mean, it's fucking terrible. Now, granted, Splash Mountain, if there's like a flume, a roller coaster, like big thrills, I get that. But like, I mean, It's a Small World was definitely the longest one. That seemed like it was maybe like 10 minutes. But like we did like Peter Pan. You just kind of crap around and look at like some Peter Pan stuff and then you're done. And they're like, thank you for coming to Disney World. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. That was like, if we didn't do Lightning Lane, that was a 2-hour wait right there, that thing. Or like you go in Dumbo, you just sit in a little thing. Like they got you up in the air for maybe 2 minutes. I mean, it's very, very fast. And you spent most of your morning in line waiting to get on it. I mean, the return on investment for waiting is just not there. So you have to do this Lightning Lane thing.
You have to play the game. You have to play the app.
You got to do it. Or you can decide that the attractions are not where it's at in the park. Because there's plenty of other things to do in the park. First of all, just walking around the place, going to Cinderella's castle, going to Gaston's tavern and getting a big cinnamon bun. Or, they had these cheeseburger spring rolls that were delicious. We went to lunch at, we did Be Our Get You Book It. It's like, it was $70 a head, of course. It was Be Our Guest. So it was in Bell's Ball and you get to have lunch there. And the Beast in like a Halloween costume shows up and like waves at everybody and blows out. I had escargot, so little snails. And that was it was absolutely disgusted Gloria and Nina. Like they were both like gagging, looking at me eat snails. Like, monkey brains?
Slimy, but satisfying.
That's actually what I said. I go slimy, but satisfying. And then I had I think it was beef tips. It felt like wedding food. You ever have like food at a wedding? It's like supposed to be fancy, but it's mass marketed. It was wedding food. They had, there's the gray stuff. That you got to try the gray stuff, just like in the cartoon. Like the gray stuff is pudding, folks. The gray stuff is chocolate pudding. That's what it is. It's come right from a store. I mean, I don't want to. There's a lot of impressive stuff at Disney World, but it is also a racket. Let's be real.
Yeah, overpriced dry wedding food.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting you in, getting you out. Oh, there's like Tom Sawyer Island, so that's just like Gloria. I don't know about your kids. Gloria just loves free play. If there's like a playground area, and in fact. We were in line for Dumbo, and halfway, I didn't remember this from when I was a kid. Halfway through, there's a free play area, like a little, kind of like you see in the mall or something, but it's fashioned after Dumbo's circus. You can just go play in there, so you can take a break from the line, go play for a while, then you can re-enter the line when you're done playing.
Oh,
and she couldn't resist. She did it for an hour.
I don't think my kids would be into Disney World right now because I don't think they could wait. I think that would be, if we were to like magically go tomorrow, it would mostly be like free play. If it was Super Nintendo World, we would figure out something with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You start booking the Lightning Lanes at 7 a.m. So like you have to hit midnight. You got to hit 7 a.m. if you're going to do this. There's Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. I was kind of taken aback by just how much of the park was still kind of rooted in pre-1990 Disney concepts, like Tom Sawyer, Swiss Family Robinson, Huck Finn. I don't know. Basically, all of Pioneerland is kind of modeled after that stuff. They are, of course, redoing Splash Mountain to be like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, so they're going to make it Princess and the Froggish.
No Song of the South? My bootleg DVD recommendations on Facebook Marketplace. Zippity doo-dah, goddammit.
I came here to zippity doo-dah and goddammit. I just was a little, like, they did have a little Agrabah spot. I was just a little surprised that there wasn't like, by now, I was surprised the whole thing wasn't Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, just kind of all the most, Wreck-It Ralph, all the most relevant stuff. The bathrooms are modeled after Rapunzel's tower, though. That was true. So I would say there were two things that really made the biggest impact on us. One was we booked the Bippity Boppity Boutique. So here's how it works, EJ. That'll be $212 for Princess Gloria.
Oh, shit. Oh, God.
And they actually charge you after you've basically committed to everything. So you book a time. You haven't paid any money yet. You go, we're going to do Bippity Boppity Boutique at 12:05, and you better be fucking on time. And you walk in, and you sit in a little staging area, and then a fairy godmother comes out, a woman who's trying to get through college. And she's like, hello, can I call you princess? They need to consent. Yeah, okay, you're going to be Princess Gloria. Come follow me, friend. And just to remind you, all staff, including the custodians and everything, they're all cast members. That's the name for everybody that works at Disney, is a cast member. And they call everybody that's a stranger a friend, even when they're yelling at you, like, please don't climb up on that, friend. And you walk through, a bunch of Princess Halloween costumes, and you realize that you've brought your daughter to Build-A-Bear for humans.
Yes.
And they go, hey, like, would you look through this catalog? Right, you haven't spent any money yet, and pick out like who's your favorite princess? Tiana and Belle. Okay, well, pick. Here's 2 of Tiana's dresses, and here's one of Belle. Okay, I'll go with this Tiana one. Follow me. So we go all the way to a dressing room, and they go, okay, friend, let us know when you're all set. And they shut the door to the dressing room, and the lights go out, and the mirror that was on the wall is a digital display, and the cartoon fairy godmother appears on the digital display.
Oh shit.
And she's like, you're mine now.
You're mine.
Tell your parents to leave. I'm the parent now. Now she says, like, we're going to make you beautiful today or something. Bippity boppy, say the magic word. You have to learn the magic words. Then you go back out into another staging area. But by this point, now you're in the dress. You're in the dress. There's no getting out of the dress, right?
No.
So then they walk up, they go, all right, so like, do you want a tiara? Do you want, pick out your hairstyle? You do the whole thing. And then finally, like, oh, thank you so much, friend. That'll be $212 for Princess Gloria. So you got to pay right away. And, it's all just tap that credit card.
Oh, yeah. Cha-ching.
Dip it.
Did you bring your royal piggy bank today? No. Well, how are you going to pay for this?
The king brought his, right?
Oh, the king?
I think the parents are the royal piggy bank. I remember when I was a kid and we would go on expensive vacations, my dad would go, oh, all you do is pay. That's how I felt. I was like, pay.
Pay.
I finally understand my dad. So then we go to like a salon, and yeah, they dressed her up as if she was going to be a bridesmaid. Basically, they full on makeup. They basically gave her. I mean, they did a great job. She looked gorgeous and cute, and it was awesome. And there's a reveal moment and stuff. But they really they kind of put a look on her that I didn't recognize. I was like, oh my god, my kid. Never seen my kid nearly this dressed up before. And then the whole time a professional photographer is snapping photos.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
Those photos go
They're all showing up on your app.
Yeah, they're showing up on the app. And then at the end of the day, they say, okay, if you want today's photos, it's $75. It'll be another 75. And there's really good photos in there. They're watermarked.
And did you pay? Did you pay?
I paid. I paid.
You pay.
There's no bippity boppity boo, baby. And Gloria lost her voice. She never actually got sick, but she lost her voice. So she was this cute little weird bridesmaid walking around Magic Kingdom with no voice.
I kind of want to see
You kind of want to see what?
a cinnamon roll.
Keep singing! It won't cost much. Just your voice. But she got the scepter and stuff. So I would do Bippity Boppity Boutique again, as opposed to these fucking stupid rides. Yes, this was very cute and very a fun little experience. I would say the service overall was very good. Lame food, but good service. Like I was told, like they have excellent food. I disagree. They did, every ride, like kids are climbing up on the gates and they're constantly telling you to get off. And I told Nina, I was like, how many times a day do you think they tell people to get off the gates? She goes, well, they haven't figured out a way to monetize it yet. If they could maybe be like, all right, you can buy a climbing pass and you'll start to be able to book which rides you can climb up on, at 7 a.m. Let's see. So here are the rides. Here's the breakdown of the rides we did. Winnie the Pooh's Adventures. Terrible. You just looked at some like psychedelic Winnie the Pooh shit for a minute. And then, Haunted Mansion. There was a weirdo in the Haunted Mansion. There was a guy who was like trailing me as I was going in, and he was a grown man and he was by himself. And when we got in there, he started like reciting every word that was on the intercom. He knew it backwards and forwards, and he was clearly like psychologically disturbed. It was really weird. The merry-go-round, that didn't have a terrible line. Aladdin's Magic Carpet, which is the exact same ride as Dumbo, by the way. Teacups, Small World, which Nina was extremely nostalgic for Small World. She was like, we gotta go on that, because she was like, her grandparents used to live in Florida and they used to drive down every summer. And she was like, I just remember coming in here and like, we just rode it. It's a Small World over and over again because the line was never all that bad. Like, it was always hot and, it was nice and cool. But again, for us, it was 50 degrees. It was great. Walking around that that park in sweatshirt weather. And you know what? The Florida natives, I assume they're Florida natives. There were people in that park with big, bulky North Face coats on and scarves in 55-degree weather. I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
You pussies.
Come on. P words. Oh, there was like a pirate treasure hunt, very similar to the Great Wolf Lodge Magic Quest thing where you get like a map and you do a scavenger hunt and you walk out, there's like a touchscreen thing and it goes like, so you found the treasure. Go to the place where there's magic carpets and see if you can find my jewels. There was in Tomorrowland, we went to Monsters Inc.'s Laugh Floor. This was kind of cute. Here's how it works. It was a show. Again, nothing can be long because we got to get people in and out. So it was maybe 10 minutes. And it was like a tri-screen. So it was a main theater screen. And then there were 2 skinny vertical screens on the left and right. And it was like Monsters Inc. characters interacting with each other, telling jokes. But there was these characters, Mac and Jeeves. And they came out and it was clear that the voice of them was live. It was somebody, it was a comedian who was cracking jokes. And somehow there was AI, mouth movement to these characters. Or they were able to almost puppeteer the animation. Like they could seem to go left and right. Because they were actually interacting with crowd members. They would spotlight a crowd member, put them up on the big screen, roast them. It was cute. It was well done. What else? Pirates of the Caribbean, which was the same exact ride that you've always seen, except now with Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow, there's a Jack Sparrow animatronic all throughout it. There was a Buzz Lightyear one that was kind of cool, I guess. It's like it was the same as all the other ones, except now there's like a laser pointer that you can try to shoot stuff. But it was like a little teeny tiny laser pointer because they don't want to blow anybody's eyes out.
Was Captain EO still there? Captain EO.
Well, I did know. This is kind of weird. I noticed that the parade, which actually got rained out on for us, but the parade was brought to you by Pandora. So the parade was sponsored
by an app. Oh, the app Pandora, like the music app?
Yes, it was a sponsored. Yeah, and Sensei, whatever that is, was the sponsor of the Dumbo ride.
Well, that's I guess that's one way to like make up for losses for your films.
Well, all I could do, I mean, I don't even know what the park capacity is, but I mean, many, 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 many thousands of people, and it's never as obvious how many people are in that park until you go to the fireworks display, which I'll talk about in a second. But all I could think was the amount of money changing hands every single day, like clockwork. I mean, COVID must have been very disruptive to it.
I know.
But the amount of profits that they're looking at that place is wild. I mean, there's no way that the movies touch what the park's doing.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah. It was, they were saying like it's 70 million people come to Orlando per year was what Orlando was saying. I think that's what they said. It's a crazy tourist destination, man. Yeah. So fireworks display. I would say that was the best part of the entire experience.
Really?
Yeah. So you got to make it to 8 o'clock. That's the only trick. And so you do sort of have to plan your day with your child so that they're able to, and then even to get like a halfway decent spot, you got to kind of park out there a half hour early because the crowd, everybody crowds in front of the castle. And it's fireworks, yes, but it's also massive high res projection onto the castle. So the castle is like a movie theater. And it's a music and light show as well. So they're illuminating the entire sky, and everything is in rhythm to this 15-minute medley of sound and music from every one of their movies. And it's like intense, and there's kind of like a narrative to it. And, they're like, Simba, remember who you are. And, like fire. Let it go. Just all the shit, decades of, Mickey pops up for a moment. And at the very end, a human Tinkerbell goes ziplining out of the castle into somewhere.
Jeez.
Yeah, somewhere into Tomorrowland. She just starts flailing on a zipline, and everybody's like, ah! Where'd she go? I want to know where she goes, actually.
Just like, catapults her.
Every night.
They need a new Tinkerbell every night.
It seems like a Simpsons thing or something. So I mean, it was wild. It was really, and I'm you know, I can't help but like sort of think about the existential as I'm watching it, and I'm like, you know, church attendance is way down, and this is like, yeah, thousands of us staring at a castle with all of these, you know, because they're trying to play up the sort of ethical, moral, narrative significance of these movies. And the truth is, they're all folktales, right? They're all, I mean, many of them are actual hundreds of years old folktales. Disney corporatized and licensed the folktale. You know, they took basically, you know, most of the moral tales, or many of the most major moral tales ever invented by the human race, and they made a clearinghouse for them and projected it onto a castle. And we're all like oriented toward it. All I could think was like, no wonder we care so deeply when this particular company, you know, loses its moral way, because like we're really depending on them with our children. And I'm looking at, I mean, there were a lot of Disney adults there, and that's something I do want to say. There's a version of a Disney trip, I'm sure, that is totally appropriate for grown-ups. Epcot, I understand, is like, it's a lot of food and whatever.
Yeah, wine or whatever.
Yeah, there's, you know, Hollywood Studios, I'm sure there's cool stuff. If you want to go to Universal Studios while you're in Orlando, if you want to go to the beaches, there's an Orlando Disney trip that's for grown-ups, I'm sure. The Magic Kingdom ain't it. You know, again, we're going to lose subscribers, but like, you know, there's like a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man like taking up an entire Dumbo with no kids around. And I'm like, this is not a good ride, okay? This is for children. Like, none of these rides are for anybody but children.
I know a couple who got a babysitter for their kids and then went to Disney by themselves. And I think that's wrong. I just do. I'm sorry.
Something that shocked me was the characters do not roam the park anymore. You will not see a costumed Mickey walking around that you can run up to and get his autograph and hug him and take a picture with him. That doesn't exist
not anymore.
It's gone. Now, if you want to meet like Rapunzel or Belle, you're going to wait in a line and you're going to go inside and you're going to get one at a time, and they're going to take photos, and you're going to consider buying it.
You got to go on your Grinder app and you got to set up a date.
Yep. Yeah. A perverse date with Belle. It's true. So she really wanted to meet Tiana, especially once she was dressed like Tiana. So there's an adorable photo I was able to take of the two of them. And she found the whole thing very magical, sitting there with Tiana, having a little chat. And Gloria was really excited to see her. And no word of a lie, man, in front of us was a grown-ass woman who had waited in line to meet Tiana by herself. An actress in a costume. And she took photos, and she was not with anyone else. It was just by herself meeting Tiana. And I'm like, could we wrap this up? Because I got a 6-year-old.
Well, bless her heart.
You know, maybe that's just, I don't want to judge, but come on, you know, like I'll dress up like Tiana if you'd like. I mean, literally anybody could dress up like Tiana and you could meet us. I mean, it's not, you know, this is supposed to work. Like, you don't believe in Santa Claus, I assume, either. Like, do you go to the mall and meet Santa Claus?
Of course.
Some things are not.
I'm going to go alone to the mall to see Santa.
As Gloria lost her voice and she was all dolled up and she started to, like, you know, get really tired. And she reminded me so much of, like, a drunken prom girl. Like, you know, just like, we should go to the parade next. just a total mess.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would worry about my kids' stamina because we do like one thing and they're like done. Their mental capacity is done. So I would assume going to Disney would be way overwhelming.
And then give them COVID.
And then give them COVID.
And then give you COVID too. And your car was broken for 2 weeks.
And give them Ursula's curse and that's
kiss the girl. Oh. Yeah, we had fun. We did. It was cool. I mean, the park is really cool. And it's just that we went to Storyland in New Hampshire not long ago, and it's very similar. I mean, the park is, of course, grander and cooler, but the concept, the sort of park mechanics are quite similar. I would say, like, those rides, they're going to have to do something about those. Maybe they don't, because everybody loves them. But I would say, like the most random VR experience at, like, your local trampoline park is equally or more exciting than this. Truly. It's like $5 for like 10 minutes of VR at a trampoline park is probably better than this, I would say. I mean, I know that's one of a kind or whatever, but, and there's a side of me that definitely resents this notion of like, was there no escape from this fucking Disney World park? Like from the moment she was born, they were going to market her and they were going to be like, you have to come. She won't be happy if she's not. And you got to give us all the money. And while you're here, bippity boppity boutique. Like, was there truly no escape? It feels that way, but we had fun. And I would go back, and I would definitely like to see the other parks. And I probably would not like put all my chips on rides or food.
We watched The Lion King with my kids.
The live action or
the original cartoon. And now it's been like, I think probably last time I saw it was like 1996 or something. And so like it's been a while since I watched it, so it's kind of fun to watch it because I didn't watch the remake or whatever.
It's quite good. The original.
It is good, but like I forgot how much like stupid banter is in it. Like like stuff for like adults. So I was like, oh, these are jokes for adults right here, and that went over my head. And like all the Timon and Pumbaa stuff. But yeah, the kids loved it. They thought it was really good, and because we haven't really watched too many musicals, so I didn't know what they were gonna think of when they just start singing. So
I love the play. The play was really the live action one with the wireframe animals and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and also like they haven't had too many movies that dealt with like a huge death like that. So like
I mean it doesn't shy away from it. It's
no
right in your face when Simba is just kind of wandering the terrain, alone and sad and defeated.
Yeah, and snuggling up with the corpse of his father, and you're like, okay. Jesus. and then immediately Scar's like, oh, this is your fault.
It's traumatizing, yeah, for sure.
And so like Noah, like after the days after, he's like, so why was Mufasa sleeping? And I'm like, well, he died. And it's like, okay, but why was he not moving? It's like, oh geez. I have to like
brand new to the idea of death.
I have to like explain this concept over and over again to Noah for like days afterwards. But he was like cheerful about it. So I was just like, oh, he's just curious. Like,
like Noah, I don't know how to tell you this, but none of us get out of here alive.
Yeah, especially not James. James Earl Jones is not going to be with us much longer, Noah.
Yeah, but his AI will live on.
A city destroyed, an Imperial facility openly attacked. There can be no mistakes. You're certain the tracker is with him.
You remember a couple of years ago, I told you all about how she wanted to watch the Ewok movies, and she actually hasn't grown out of the Ewok cartoon on Disney Plus. So that's like a Paul Dini affair, the Batman the Animated Series guy. It's a halfway decent cartoon. She likes it. And so we were in the middle of watching that at 6 a.m. on a weekend or something while Nina was still sleeping. We were down here in the theater area. And I go, hey, why don't we put on Return of the Jedi? I'm trying to I'd much rather watch Return of the Jedi. And I go, I'll tell you what, I'll skip right to the Ewok part. She goes, oh, that's good. So we go to the Wicket's first scene with Leia. And when she pulls out the little space cookie, and she was like, what's that? And I said, it's a space cookie. She goes, I want a space cookie. I was like, I kind of do too. Every time I say space cookie, I get hungry. And then one of the scout troopers fires at Wicket's little landing area there by the tree. Pew, and Wicket goes, Ichawawa. Gloria goes, I can't stop laughing at this. She goes, did you just, can I swear? I go, sure. She goes, did you just fucking destroy the Ewoks' property? did you just fucking destroy the Ewoks property? Oh my God, it was so funny. Oh yeah, yes. Final word on that. One of the things that she enjoys watching on YouTube, strangely, is top animatronic malfunctions. So there's like all these YouTube videos that like they're like, here's like the top 10 Chuck E. Cheese animatronic malfunctions. Here's the top 10 Disney ones. And so we went to It's a Small World, and there was like one hippo that had like a half blinking eye. And she was like, it's an animatronic malfunction. She's wanting to see every animatronic malfunction in the park.
Get out your phone. We're filming this for the YouTube.
No, I have it because she was like, take a picture of that, take video of that. Dad, take video of that.
And I caught some animatronic malfunction on It's a Small World. Yeah, like a hippopotamus was like drinking like crazy. And then right over here.
I think when Super Nintendo World opens, I think it's in 2025 in Orlando. I think I'll take the boys to that. They don't give a shit.
I'd like to go to that.
They don't give a shit about Disney, unfortunately.
These were my my ears in Disney World. It's Chippendale Rescue Rangers with a little magnifying glass. I think these are quite cute. Anyway, good night.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.